At this time, I have a special guest, a friend that I'm going to ask to come and just give a brief testimony. We're not going to be before you long, but before he does, let's give the little angels one more hand clap. Amen. Amen. Because I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done none of that. Amen. As my brother Sean comes to testify, the next voice that you'll be hearing, I just ask that you'll be praying, amen, for the word. Amen.
Good morning, family. I'm a little nervous, so bear with me, please. Before I start, I wanted to say a few things. Just kind of an overview, because some of you guys know my story, me and my wife's, and maybe some of you don't, but the overview is this. We were married in 2005. She had our son, Solomon, in April of 2005. She was also diagnosed with cancer. She had breast cancer, and this is her second battle with breast cancer, so it was one of those things where we kind of do what families do. And what I mean by that is as a husband, what I did was protect my wife. So those of us that know me know that's what I was all about. She passed away in 2014. We were married 10 years. And if you didn't know, she lived the way she wanted to live. So she lived life how she wanted to live. And I didn't give her I had no problem with that. The reason why I didn't have a problem with it because of the fact that what we got to understand as people is that life is too short to deal with certain things in your life. So what I mean by that is, as a husband, you got to understand and know when to shut your mouth. As a wife, you got to understand and know when to shut your mouth. So for me to stand up here and tell you guys that life is too short, I truly mean that. So whatever you're bickering about in your home, stop. I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. I was raised in the projects on 9th and Woodland. I have this theory, and the theory is that when you are born and raised in the projects, you have PTSD. Now let me explain to you why I say that. PTSD, post-traumatic stress. When you don't live in a home with two parents, that's stress. When you're in a home with your mom and it's just your mom, and you're the oldest child, there's a stress put on you that some know about because they're older and some don't. And what that is that at 9, 10 years old, my mom came to me and said, "You're the man of the house. So you have these certain responsibilities." Those responsibilities were help raise my brother and sister, be very protective of my family, make sure that they are in bed on time, make sure that they have all the things that they need. That's a lot for a 9-year-old. But when you have a single parent at home, your mom, you do whatever you have to make sure that she's okay. So you don't wait until she wants something or she needs something. And don't get me wrong, at about 12 years old, I started resenting it because of the fact that I didn't have a childhood. And I seen kids that had childhoods. And so they were being raised as children, and they were able to be children until they came of age. I did not know that you're supposed to be a child for that time. So me being a young man, I started making young grown man decisions, having kids young, doing things I shouldn't be doing. It took my mom, the strong woman that she was, to reel me back in. So I had to understand that I had to look at, I had to take a good look at myself, because one day I decided that I was going to sneak out the house and leave my brother and sister at home and go see my girlfriend. My mama worked at night, so I'm thinking I'll be back before she get home and everything will be all right. Well, I left. My brother and sister couldn't find me, so they called my mother. So I came home. When I walked through the door, she told me to get out. Now, this is a 14-year-old kid, and your mom is telling you to get out. Mama, why I got to get out? She said, this is I'm trying to make sure I say the words right. This is a functioning house. And what she meant by that is that everybody plays their part, and you're not playing your part, so I don't need you here. So I begged and asked, can I stay? I'll do what I have to do. And she said, okay. But the next time, that's not happening. I said, no problem, Mama. So after that, I straightened up, and then I started taking a really good, hard look at myself and my surroundings. And this is when my stepfather had came into my life. Now, I don't know how many people here have had stepfathers, but in the projects, there's only two types of stepfathers. One that beats you and one that molested you. That's just it. So I had the one that beat me. So I got it pretty bad. But I had to also understand that he's not my father. So he doesn't have he doesn't have the care that a father would have for a son. So it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter to him how I was raised or how I was. I'm not his child. It just meant that when something was wrong or when I did something wrong, he had the opportunity to hit me. That went on for a few years, probably about 3 years, while him and my mother was together. But I decided that I wanted to join the Marine Corps when I was 16 years old. And I told my mom I wanted to see the world. So I got everything together, and she signed the paperwork because you have to have a waiver to go to the Marine Corps if you're young. When I started my freshman year in high school, my stepfather had said something to me that kind of blew me away because I was like, I couldn't believe it. I knew in the projects, I knew that there were 100 young black men like myself that didn't have a father and lived with their mothers. He sat me down and he said, 50% of them are going to go to jail. He said 25% is going to die, and the other 15 or so percent is going to do drugs. He said, what percentage of that are you in? And that's what he asked me. And at 15, 16 years old, I'm like, how do you know? You don't know that there's going to be no 50% in jail. I said, man, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's how I felt. Whatever. Sophomore year, half the people I went to school with went to jail. Now, mind you, this is around the 84, 85. This is when crack really hit Kansas City. So you had a lot of people's moms smoking crack, and their kids were selling it to them. So you in the projects, you just spoke to somebody's mom, hey, how you doing, Ma? Good to see you. She walks right down the street to her son, and her son sells her crack. That's what you've seen. Or you've seen somebody's sister doing what they do. So it's kind of hard when you see these things not to fall in those traps. My sophomore year, the same thing happened. I had a friend die. He died. We were playing basketball in the wintertime. He had a heart murmur. Took his coat off. We all sitting there playing basketball. He just falls, hits his head. He never woke up. This was my best friend. So you're looking at, you're taking, what I'm trying to tell you is there's layers of stress that comes with living in the projects. So it's layers on top of layers on top of layers. And then you got to take on, imagine taking all them layers and then add on that depression. Because depression is something that also comes along with that. You don't know this depression, you don't know that you have depression because you don't realize that why you're sad all the time. You're sad because your mom was sad. Her mom was sad because of their predicament, and you didn't know that. So my depression stemmed from my mother's mother had a child, and the child was, I want to say 3 or 4 months old, and he died of SIDS. Well, in the 60s, they didn't know what SIDS was, so they arrested her. So imagine a mother being arrested for killing her child. So she got arrested for killing her child. So she drunk herself almost to death. Okay? So my mother watched her do this. So my mother took on all that depression as the oldest child. So me being the oldest child, growing up with my mother, because my mother had me when she was 15. Growing up with my mother, I was like, you're supposed to be sad. It's not supposed to be happy. You're sad because my mom is sad. I'm going to get back to that. So my senior year, it's about 150 students, and out of that 150, it was probably 10% black men, young black men. The rest of them were in jail or dead, just like he said. Just like he said. I couldn't believe it. So I decided to go to the Marines. I went through boot camp, and it was a challenge, but the thing about it is that they say the Marine Corps boot camp is the hardest boot camp that you can go through. When I went to the Marine Corps boot camp, I thought it was a cakewalk compared to what I lived through. So it wasn't nothing that they could say or do to me that could stress me out. And they couldn't understand that. I was like, I've been through what you're trying to put me through. I've seen it. I've seen, the struggles that you're trying to make us understand. I've seen that. So we were drilling one day. We were marching to go eat breakfast. And so I was kind of tired. I was kind of mad because we had to get up early. So I decided I didn't want to do what the drill instructor said. Now, it's dark outside. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, so I know he can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of like, just walking. He comes from nowhere and smacks me in the back of my head, smacks my hat off, and he says, you don't want to march? Okay, you don't got to march. So me being the powerful personality I didn't even pick my hat up. I marched without the hat. Marched right into there. I did everything without the hat. And he kind of looked at me like, oh, you one of them. You one of them old tough guys, huh? I didn't respond because you can't respond to him. So I said, sir, no, sir, I'm not tough. So we were sitting we were all in boot camp, and the senior drill instructor, he's like, he's the pastor. So we call the senior drill instructor the pastor. So the recruits are kind of supposed to worship the ground that the pastor goes. So whatever he does, they try to make sure he gets old, And so we from Kansas City, we don't do that. So all that old rushing because he need a pen and all that. And he say, hey, they say drill instructor need a pen. They get to doing all this stuff. I used to do like that, just pretending that I was doing it. And they was trying to get him a pen for real. You know what I mean? I was like, I ain't get this dude no pen. So one day, the drill instructor says, you guys don't want to march? Okay, undress your blouse, pull your shirt out, just mob together. Now get close together and move like a cow. So all these cats around me start moving like a cow. I'm looking at them like, I ain't moving like no cow. And so the next day, drill instructor had walked out. I said, man, I tell y'all what. I said, next time he tell us to move like a cow, let me catch one of y'all moving like a cow. Y'all gonna show some respect around here. We don't do that. Next day, he said, oh, y'all don't want to march? Move like a cow. Nobody moved. Oh, y'all don't want to such and such? We kept marching. He said, finally, y'all got it. Finally. Y'all got it. Show respect for yourself. That's the only thing he wanted. I learned that before I got there from going through what I've been going through. So I get through boot camp, get stationed at Camp Lejeune, 2nd Tank Battalion. There for 2 years, 1990 comes, and we get the call that we're going to Iraq. Now, you know, you're 18, 19 years old, and they telling you about to go to a foreign country, and they got to give you all these shots so you don't get sick. But you go, and they send us over there, and show you how good God is. I don't have a scratch, not one. But I have friends that were in tanks. They were going through and split. The tank splits in the middle because they hit a mine and killed everybody in the tank. I had people that got sniped. These are friends, people I knew. So for you to go through a war and survive without a scratch, for you to come through the projects without going through those obstacles, you don't know how blessed you are. But here's the thing, I didn't know, because I was still running through here blind because I thought that I was just lucky. I did this on me. It was all me. 2 years later, 2-3 years later, I'm in school for being a paralegal. And I meet this gorgeous, chocolate, beautiful woman with a smile that lights up the room. I mean, lights up the room. When I say light up the room, it lights up the room. And I said to myself, I'm marrying her. The first day I seen her, I said, I'm marrying her. Probably 4 years, me off and on trying to, get to know her, whatever. We didn't date. So finally one year, I called her, and she's like, you know what, you've been calling me for 4 years. When are you going to call me, ask me out on a date? I said, I tell you what, let's go tomorrow. So we went tomorrow, and we were inseparable. 2 months into it, we found out that she has breast cancer. Now, man, she's only 23, 24 years old. And first thing she says to me, she says, I understand if you want to leave. That's what she said. Now, I come from a mother that walked through a blizzard to get me and my sisters and brothers some toys for Christmas. Do you honestly think I'm going to leave right now? So we went through, and we went through the chemotherapy. We did all that, and the cancer went in remission. But they told us, say, listen, your cancer is driven by estrogen. If you get any estrogen, any more extra, the cancer's gonna come back. Everybody here that knows Kelly knows that you can tell her one thing, but she don't believe it, because God said, okay? They told her she wasn't gonna have any kids. That's what they said. You ain't having no kids. You can't have kids. If you have a kid, that's it. So, like Kelly, we decided we're getting married in 2004 or 2003. We decided we get married in 2004. She gets pregnant with our 11-year-old son now, Solomon, and the cancer comes back. Now, this time when it came back a lot more aggressive than it did the first time. So everybody knows Kelly's view on how she looked at everything and how she was happy about everything, and how everybody knows that part and how she looked on life. Now I'm about to tell y'all my part, how I looked at it and how I felt about it. When she found out that she was pregnant with Solomon, I was ecstatic because I knew that this was something that they said that she couldn't do. But I also knew that with that came the cancer. So I said to myself, okay, this is something that's gonna, that you're gonna have to, this is a walk that you're gonna have to take with her, and you're gonna have to be strong for her. So that means that you can't let anybody come in her life that's going to bring any negativity towards her life or anything that's going on. So first thing I did was become a protector. So the first thing I did was, if you couldn't handle coming to see her, don't come and see her. That's what I told you. If you're going to cry when you walk in that door, don't come in here. Because it's happiness here, and that's how we live. It was happiness. When she was pregnant with Solomon, probably 6 months into the pregnancy, you guys know the story, she had 2 tumors in her stomach with Solomon. So the tumors were, one was as big as a basketball, and one was as big as a softball. And they're all on her left side, I believe, and Solomon was on the right side. The doctor said that the tumors were drawing so much blood that Solomon wasn't going to make it. So we prayed, and and then all of a sudden, it looked like Solomon just started fighting back. He started taking blood from them, and they died. So imagine having 2 tumors that were sucking all the blood, taking the life from you and your child. They die. These are rotting tumors in your stomach, in your uterus. Not in your stomach, in your uterus. So they had to take her uterus when Solomon was born. So I'm standing in the hospital looking at my wife with her stomach cut open, standing there in the window looking at her with her stomach cut open, and they pull out these tumors. They pull out one as big as a basketball, they sit it down. They reach in her stomach, pull out another one as big as a softball, they sit it down. Then they reach in there and pull out this beautiful baby. Okay? So when they pull out this beautiful baby, they rinse him off, and he's crying, because it's like he don't know. He's like, what's going on? He's crying. I ain't warm no more or nothing. And so I stick my hand out while he's laying in the bed, and I stick my hand out, and he grabs my hand, my finger with his hand like this, and he does like this, and he squeezes it. And I go, shh. And it's like he knew who I was because he stopped crying, and he went to sleep. So we'll fast forward 3 months, 4 months. Kelly has a port that she had in her chest, and it went directly to her heart. And I don't know if I told everybody this, but we was at home one day, and I worked at night, and I was laying in the bed, and I heard her coughing. Now, when you're in tune with your wife, you can tell the difference between her coughs, her cries, her laughs. You can tell all that. So when she was coughing, I said, that ain't right. We need to go to the doctor. We went to the doctor, and what they found was that the port had a plastic piece. And the plastic piece was about that long. It had broke off and went into her heart. So here's the doctor coming to me telling me, I'm literally sitting in this waiting room. He's telling me that your wife has a 2-inch piece of plastic in her heart, and if it goes to the other side, that she could die. I couldn't take no more. I could not take no more. I couldn't take no more. I broke right there. Everything I tried to hold, all the manly, all that stuff, it went out the window, and I cried. I boo-hooed. Okay. I boo-hooed, and I boo-hooed. So she had the surgery, and when she had the surgery, they had to go through a vein at the bottom of her leg all the way up to get this out of her heart. Okay? So, after about multiple surgeries, and I want to say at least 8 or 9, I had this one prayer that I would pray every day before I went to work. And I would say, Lord, thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for my family. Please continue to heal my wife. And please continue to watch over us. And I prayed that every day. I prayed it so much that I still pray it to this day. It's just automatic. So, what you have before you is a man that has been through the worst of life. I mean, the worst of life. And only thing I can do is say, here I stand. And it's because of God. It wasn't nothing that I tried to do, or it's nothing that the man that's made here in you guys' eyes right now, God made. Had nothing to do with what I did, nothing, no decisions I made. I made decisions. They were bad decisions, most of them, but I made them. I'm going to leave you guys with this because this is something that I don't know, God just put it on my heart. So DNA. Look where your DNA has come from to where you are now. And what I mean by that is your DNA made the passage, that long ride from Africa to America. Your DNA made it through that. Your DNA also turned around and made it through slavery, Jim Crow, the 40s, when they was talking about picnics. Everybody here really knows what picnic mean, right? I ain't gonna, but y'all know what picnic mean. Some of us that know, and if you don't know, ask me later and I'll tell you. But you've made it through those things. You've made it through some of the things that, what your DNA has made it through, all these things, the turbulence of the 20s, the being cold, not having a house. It went through, your DNA has went all through all this stuff. And my question to you is, what are you going to do with it? It wasn't just coincidence that you made it this far. It wasn't coincidence that your DNA made it this far. It's impossible. Your DNA made it this far for you to do something in life, for this world, or for somebody. That's what it is. You're here for a reason. You're not here just to be here. God didn't bring you here, didn't take your DNA through all this for you to just sit and not do anything. I don't know what you guys' purpose is in life, but I'm pretty sure that some of us know where we are and some of us know where we want to be. If God can take your DNA and carry it through all this that he's carried it through, and you look at your parents, you look at their parents, you look what they went through, what they had to do, the endurance, the pain that they had to go through for you to get here. And you mean to tell me that's the only thing that you here for is to just go to work and come home? Nah, that's not it. And I'm not saying that it's for me to. I'm not saying it's for you to go and change your diet. No, change the world. I'm not saying change your diet. I'm saying change the world. You have that ability. Everybody in here, you have that ability. It's not one person in here that couldn't. Only thing you have to do is try. Life is a struggle, and being married is one of a prized possession for me. And I covet marriages, even those that I see. Last thing I'm gonna say is I was with a friend and we were at Sam's Club. He was going on and on and on about his wife, how she just nagged. Oh, she nagged so much. She do this. I can't do nothing every time. And mind you, you know what I'm going through. You know Kelly's sick. You know she's doing what she's doing. You know this. And you still coming to me talking about she mad at you because you didn't put the toilet stool seat down. Or she's mad at you because I said, man, let me tell you something, man, because I couldn't take it no more. I said, hey, man, listen. Give me them problems. Give them to me. Give me them. I'll take those. Give me those problems. Give me those, and you take mine. That's what you do. Give me that. Give me that toilet stool that you can't put down. Give me that light switch that you can. Give me that you didn't wash your car. Give me that stuff. I'll take out. Please, I was begging you to give it to me. I was begging because I was so hurt and distraught because of the fact that I know in my heart my wife is not going to be here. And you had the audacity to complain? Are you serious? You had the audacity to talk about her being mad about you. Man, I said, boy, I said, look, take me home. I don't even want to talk to you no more. Because I couldn't believe it, man. I said, take me to the house. I said, I'll talk to you next week, man, because you lost your mind. You have lost your mind. So, married couples, the bickering that you're doing, the arguing that you're doing, the little stuff that you get mad at him and you don't want to talk to him, and you walk away and y'all in the same room and you walk out and all that stuff, cut that out, man. Life's too short for that. Because the only thing you're going to do is turn right back around and love them again. That's all. That's it. You're going to be mad for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then you're going to love them again. That's just life. Men, covet your wives. Look out for them. Be their protectors. And understand that we as men, we make mistakes. But you got to be man enough to apologize for your mistakes when you make them also. So, and women, y'all make mistakes too. I know y'all don't want to believe that or hear it, but yes, y'all do. And y'all say stuff. Y'all tongues are vicious. Y'all got some vicious tongues. Y'all truly do. But here's the thing. If y'all tongues are vicious, and some of the things that y'all say to us, imagine if we said the same things to y'all. Nah, it ain't funny no more, huh? So all I'm saying is that think about what you said before you say it, because it could be one day that you be in my shoes and she's not here or he's not here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got.